There's just 4 teams standing in this year's Copa America 2024, and 2 of them are Argentina and Canada, who will kick off the semifinal round on Tuesday, July 9th at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's break down the odds for this game, the form of Argentina and Canada, and our best bets and picks for this game. And I don't like to get too high or too low with some of these predictions and results, but let's try to get another winner here, as the Copa America picks have gone 16-7 this tournament, so we're definitely going hot right now. Let's try to keep it going. And if you want more soccer picks and predictions, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and get more soccer content in all of the top leagues coming soon. Argentina, not surprisingly, are massive favorites in this game, minus 275. The draw plus 375, Canada plus 850. Now, if that's in regulation, if you look at just to advance, there is no extra time. So if this game goes to penalties, Argentina minus 500, Canada to advance plus 350. For Argentina, match day 1, they had a 2-0 win versus Canada, the same team here. Match day 2, 1-0 win over Chile. Match day 2, a 2-0 win over Peru. And in the quarterfinals, they were seconds away from winning 1-0 over Ecuador. Ecuador tied it, so they went on to win 4-2 in PKs. Now, in that game, Ecuador started okay. They had some chances. Messi, though, has a corner to the close post. The first goal, this being the only goal of the game until the end. Messi gets a corner kick to the close post, flicked on by Alexis McAllister to Lisandro Martinez. He gets the goal, 1-0 Argentina in the 35th minute, and it would stay that way for much of the game. Ecuador had a chance to tie later on, but had a missed PK by Ener Valencia. Ecuador does tie in the final minutes from Kevin Rodriguez in the 91st minute. We're on to PKs, and while Messi does miss, the next 4 Argentinian players don't. Martinez makes 2 saves for Argentina, and they win 4-2 in PKs. Final stats, 51% possession for Argentina, 9-8 shots for Ecuador, shots on target an equal 2-2, corners 5-2 Ecuador. For Canada, the big underdogs in this match. Match day 1, like we said, lost to the same Argentina team 2-0. They had a 1-0 win over Peru in the next game. Peru, though, takes a red card. A 0-0 draw with Chile. Match day 3, Chile also takes a red card. Quarterfinals, a 1-1 draw where they went on to win in PKs themselves 4-3 versus Venezuela. Now, in that quarterfinal match, it was a meeting between 2 unlikely opponents. Underdogs Canada did strike early, though, in the 13th minute from Jacob Schaffelberg. Now, this game was wild, an end-to-end action where Canada had way more chances but just couldn't score a second goal. And if you leave a team hanging around long enough, it often comes back to bite you, and it did when Solomon Rondon chipping the ball over Maxime Crépeau to tie the game in the 64th minute, 1-1. Now, Crépeau should not have been out that far. The Venezuela keeper should have also, though, seen a yellow card for delaying the throw-in before that previous play. And really, the officiating in that whole game was questionable, with Canada getting way more fouls than Venezuela not seeing yellows for multiple questionable fouls. I'm not saying this because I'm Canadian. I thought Canada would not advance through that last round regardless, but some of the officiating this tournament against Canada and even USA has been very questionable. The fouls were 13-7 against Canada, yellow cards 2-1 against Canada. Venezuela didn't get their first yellow card in that game until the end in the 94th minute, and it was a blatant yellow that you'd be crazy not to call a yellow for. With the game 1-1, it went to PKs. Both teams had 2 players miss, so we went to sudden death, and it was Ismail Kone in the 6th round who slots it home for the win, 4-3 Canada in PKs. Final stats, 56% Venezuela possession, shots 16-16 each, shots on target 7-3 Canada, corner 7-3 Venezuela. Head-to-head between these teams, like we've just watched in match day 1, Argentina had the win in that game, winning 2-0 with goals from Julian Alvarez and Lautaro Martinez in the 49th and 88th minutes. Argentina had 65% possession, the edge in shots 19-10, shots on target 9-2, corners 7-4. Now, Canada held their own, though, in that game. It was actually impressive. They came out with plenty of offensive chances. They had a lack of finishing like they've had for many games now, and they were held off at the score sheet. But defensively, they also gave up a ton of chances as well, if not for some big saves from Maxime Crépeau and maybe some better finishing from Argentina themselves. Scoreline could have definitely been worse and not just 1-0 until the end of the game, still holding the world's best team to just 1 goal until the 88th minute. Certainly an impressive feat for the underdog Canadians. The only other recent meeting, semi-recent if you want to call it that, was a friendly back in 2010. Which was a 5-0 win by Argentina, but we are going back some ways here. For Argentina, they have just 2 losses now in their last 61 games. They've outscored their opponents 18-3 in their last 9, all of those games being wins, but the last game did go to extra time. They've only allowed 8 shots on target against this whole tournament, so Canada will be up against it to get their chances here. The under for Argentina has gone a perfect 4-0 in their Copa America games as well. For Canada, they've scored just 2 goals in their last 6 games, and they have just 2 wins in 6, and one of those wins needed PKs. They've kept clean sheets in 3 of 5, and 4 of 7. In fact, there's been a clean sheet in Canada's games in 6 of the last 7, whether it be for them or against them. And they too have been playing to a ton of unders, with the under 2.5 going 5-0 and 6-1. Let's get into Argentina and Canada predictions and best bets here. Now, I'm a Canadian, and it is a great story for Canada to make it this far, but let's look at the Final Four. Argentina, Colombia, Uruguay, and Canada. One of these things is just not quite like the others. Canada is getting no help from the refs this tournament, and that's unlikely to change against the world champs here in a stadium that will likely be packed with Argentina fans this week. Sadly, I still have to pick Argentina to win here. I think Canada can hold their own, but I think it's obvious Argentina should get the win here. Now, that's not going to pay you enough, so let's try to get creative. We just talked about how many unders both teams have been playing to, so if you were to combine Argentina to win and under 3 goals, you could have a very attractive plus 190 there, so you could be thinking a similar score line to match day 1. If it was Argentina 1-0 or 2-0, that could be a good price. I also think it could be worse than that. Argentina could score more. Canada certainly had their chances, and if they can get on the score sheet, maybe we do see more than 2 goals. So Argentina to win and under 4 also could be a good option at minus 115. Both of these teams have played a ton of unders. In fact, all unders this tournament for both. That first game between them, like I said, could have easily seen more than 2 goals if both teams had a little bit better finishing. So I'm going to make the best bet in this game, Argentina to win and under 4 goals at minus 115. If you wanted to improve that just a little bit, here's a couple more options. Argentina to have the most shots as well in a same-game parlay could bump that up to plus 105, or maybe Lautaro Martinez to have 1 or 2 shots in this game. Just giving him 1 shot would bump up that bet to minus 105 if you look at Bet365's same-game parlay builder. He has 4 goals and 10 shots this tournament, so he's likely to have a couple shots in this game. Those are a few options if you want to just play around with the same-game parlay options there and get some better odds. But let's make the best bet. Argentina to win, under 4 goals, minus 115. What are your bets for this Copa America game? Share them down there in the comments. And if you're looking for the best sports betting odds and new customer promos, be sure to help out the channel. Use the link signupexpert.com/shredthespread. I'll put that down there in the comments. You can see all the great offers for new customers in your area. Check it out, and best of luck.